Hey guys. No, it's not that interesting. Anyways, we got to talk about episode 14. Yes, that's it. I'm sorry. It's not what it was supposed to give. And then it's on the same night as Survivor, and Survivor's giving. Even when it doesn't quite give, it gives. And then also what we're going to talk about next, that's much more interesting after this. The next video is All-Star Season 2. It's giving.
It's giving.
This is really not for us, but we're riding it through. We're gonna get to the end.
We're 14 in. We gotta stick with it.
At this point, we're getting there. But
I'm gonna leave the episode details for the end because the bigger important thing that we're just gonna say, spoilers by the way.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch already. No one goes home. So Amanda and Big T going into the arena was for nothing, only so she could switch teams.
That's about it. Because Big T is like, okay, I'm leaving. She
and TJ's like, wait, Big T, why don't you come back? I'm feeling maybe we're gonna keep you around. And then everyone's like, oh my god, Big T, yay. And then I'm like,
she comes around the corner, like she's literally production was like, stand right here. And then she comes around the corner like, oh my God, what's going on? Like the acting was bad. I think and TJ, I mean, I'm sorry. I love the show and I enjoy TJ, but TJ is also a character on the show. He's not the one that called that shot. So it's not like he really sat there and thought about it. He is the voice, but he's not the machine behind the voice. Like he doesn't write the scripts.
Yeah.
So it's whatever, and I like Big T, so that's great. It was just also an anticlimactic elimination. Like I didn't feel like either one of them were trying that hard. Maybe it was the edit, I don't know. Like I was both kind of like, are they done yet? Pull that shit out. Like, oh no, no one fell. There was nothing that interesting. It wasn't like they were sweating and crying or just like, I can't figure out this puzzle. Like there was nothing.
They were just doing it. It's not like they were competing. It was very lackluster and just like I wasn't watching people fighting to be in the game.
Yeah, no.
Excuse me.
Use you. But yeah,
she basically ended up winning. Big T was like 3 behind, whatever. I know I said I was gonna wait for this, but like it's kind of just, let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Big T lost, and then they did this whole run around just so Amanda could switch teams. Big T's put back on Ruby, and then Amanda takes Tori's spot in Emerald. Yeah. And then Tori's now with Sapphire or Ruby.
Yeah, Sapphire.
So that's really
wait.
Or maybe it is. I don't know.
No, it's Ruby. She did go to Ruby because she's with Nelson and Nelson's on Ruby.
Yeah, and Kyle was like, oh yeah, we go Tori, blah blah blah. Like that whole thing.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why.
It's just the cells being uneven numbers confuses me. It's like now I can't keep track of who's on who because people have. And
my thing is like, I don't understand why Tori was so pissed. I get it, but it was also like, she's okay. To me, I guess they would consider her just as good as Casey. I think she's better than Casey, but people put Casey on this pedestal, so whatever. So, and Nany, she's cool. She's really not that good, honestly. She's not. She was better back in the day. I don't know. She's just not. And I feel like Tori shouldn't have been surprised. It wasn't because you were the least valuable player. I mean, Nany's been around way longer than you. She's wifed up with Casey, and they put Casey on this pedestal.
And they're closer with Josh than you are. It's like pretty obvious.
It was like I feel like she took it like, these aren't my friends and they don't appreciate what I did. And I'm like, they're your friends, but like they're closer. It'd be like if Anissa was gonna pick you over the rest of them because you're closer. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it was just that thing. It wasn't because y'all don't get along, but it was also like the only person you're really paired up with on that team what is Emmanuel or whatever, but he's a rookie, so he doesn't have pull like that anyways. So it's kind of like it was obvious that she was gonna do that.
Yeah.
It was obvious you weren't bottom of the team, but you were bottom of the social part of the team in a way.
And I think it was just kind of
she was so
whatever drama that could divert from the subject we're going to talk about next.
Yeah, I do. I think
it may just be kind of leftover drama from stuff that may have been said at said event. So anyway, let's get to that. So apparently, if you watch the episode, Ashley disappears sometime before deliberation.
They make one comment at deliberation. Oh, I noticed Ashley's not here. And that's it.
No shit, because she's on the winning team and there's an empty chair. Like,
and then they don't talk about it. No one else brings it up. They don't talk about it again. Which
until they get to the arena. Why? What is this cliffhanger? Talk about it now. TJ could have said his little, agents. Tori has been whatever.
Yeah, no, I thought he was gonna say something then. When he didn't, I was like, maybe it's gonna be some weird shit and she's back. Like she got hurt or she got mad at somebody, but like she came back, like, because she's kind of crazy like that. So I could see that. So then when the fact that he waited till the elimination, like till we got down to the elimination for him to be like, she's deactivated, but then still not really say anything was kind of
like, okay, so you're hiding something that went on because she's not injured.
They don't want to say something. And I'm going to tell you right now is I'm sure they've always hid some controversial stuff. But if you look at old seasons, they let a lot of controversial shit fly, right? It was a different time. It wasn't the Me Too movement. It wasn't the hypersensitivity type stuff that goes on now where people are like on Twitter and on these social platforms, like demanding that something changes to the point where they're telling the advertisers, we're not going to buy your stuff anymore. So then they have to change it because it comes down to money, where it's like, it's there. What is speculating that I've allegedly heard has happened is not much compared to what you can find on old episodes. And yeah, I get it. It's a different time, but I was kind of like, Josh can push someone and get a warning, but someone says something verbally and
that's why I'm like, there has to be more to it because
like she probably went off or something. Like she had to have done.
Yeah. Basically something. What happened was, we are assuming, this is all speculation on what we've heard, sometime during like the little like party powwow thing that they do before deliberation, they didn't show Ashley there, but I believe she was there. And
they showed her talking to Amanda for a minute.
Oh, then this is absolutely what happened then.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Don't have to confirm. She probably got into it with Amanda and Josh and Nani and Casey and all of them. And they were probably drinking. Ashley was a little drunk, again, speculation. And supposedly she had mentioned something about Josh being gay and everyone knowing about it, or
like outing
along those lines of his sexuality, outing him. So,
which isn't cool if that is the case, but I'm also physical violence.
The show?
Yeah,
well,
like
what I don't understand. It's like, okay, like pushing someone, physically injuring someone. Some people don't get thrown off, some people do. It just depends on the case by case.
Yeah, whatever.
But anything verbal, if you go back, racist stuff, homophobic stuff,
galore,
anything like that, outing someone, this is what I don't understand. You don't have to show that, and they didn't, but then she's still kicked off the show.
But they won't tell us why. And it's like, it'd be different if she was like someone that'd been on maybe 1 or 2 seasons, maybe someone new. But someone like her that's been a staple on this show for the past like decade now and won multiple times, and her best friend was in Elimination that episode, like she was front and center right then and there. And to just sort of be like, oh, we don't know, like, I'm not satisfied. As a watcher, I'm not satisfied.
She's also on the winning team. She's on the winning team for the week. Like,
weird.
For her to have just been erased from the episode midway through, like, this is another thing I don't understand. It obviously wasn't a last minute decision because the season happened months ago. So why is the edit so sloppy of like, she's here and then she's not, and then we're not going to talk about it until the very end?
It can't be that bad because she was still promoting the show as of last week, and those posts are still up. So if it was super bad, like she wouldn't have been promoting the show the whole time. She would have gotten in trouble months ago, right? And then she would have, if she was in enough trouble where she would have been like cut ties with MTV, like she wouldn't be coming back, she wouldn't be promoting the show like that. Or she would, but it would be bare minimum. And you'd be like, that's kind of weird because she's fulfilling a contract and then the contract's up. Or does the contract get null and void if I'm thrown off, but I agreed to be on? Like, and like the season, it was the season before you watched it, started watching, but there was controversy with Dee, and to the point where they cut ties with her, and they started cutting a majority of what even when she went down to an elimination and won, they barely showed anything. They didn't do an interview with her after. Like, they cut all her confessionals, and she almost got to the final, and I was like, what are they going to do if she wins? Like, how are they going to oh, she won, okay, bye, next. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but they still, like, they could have, I don't know, I guess maybe it's because her controversy, Ashley's controversy was during filming and Dee's was after, while it was airing, and people were demanding stuff. So then they must have had to go back to the drawing board and start cutting some shit before they aired it, like in real time. But I'm just like, what she said was super racist and super like insensitive to like the Black Lives Matter movement. And she was already like considered like a villainous character anyways. So it was sort of, I don't know, it's weird. It's like they let her still.
Well, I want to know if she's at the reunion or is she not?
Well, I don't know. I didn't even look at that because you could probably find out. I don't know. That's a discussion for a different day. Regardless, that's
because I know Corey's not going to it because of vaccine stuff he disagrees with. But I know I saw something Nelson posted of them filming it. Like,
okay, but he was at the reunion for Teen Mom too that he's on, so he could go to that reunion, but he couldn't go to this one. But they're both MTV shows, so it's like, where do we? Because they were filmed near the same time, so he would have went to one, and then like 2 months he would have done the challenge one, and then later, a couple months later, he would have done Teen Mom 2. It was around the same time period. And it's like, he couldn't go to this one, but he could go to this one, but it's the same. So it's this like performative activism, like when MTV pretends they care. Do you care? Do you not care? Is this a rule? Is this not a rule? Do people get kicked off for pushing people, or do they get kicked off for using their mouth inappropriately, but they're just talking? It's I don't know.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And this is like coming from someone who thinks that the issue, Ashley, like,
if that's what happened,
brought up, if it's what happened, is like a big issue. Again, why kick her off the show? Why not just not show that? And
then make her like apologize, or you could even sort of show it but without showing it, and make her have a conversation and apology. Like, they've done stuff like that before. I don't understand why maybe that wasn't an option. I don't know, just what they did.
This is what it's like. I don't understand what the goal was, because you don't tell us why she's off. So therefore people are going to ask questions and figure out why. So if the goal was like to kick her off to avoid like controversy or to avoid like her being in the game anymore, it's like, well, the stuff that you chose not to cover is now going to be uncovered because she's kicked out of the show. If you had just not included it,
someone on the show or someone in production will leak something to prove what happened and talk about it, because people always do. So it's gonna come out. That's why it's almost always better just, hey, honesty is the best policy. Like, own your shit, stick to it, do what you got to do. I don't know. It's weird.
Apparently, so she didn't even say, allegedly, she didn't even say anything derogatory. It was literally just about outing him,
which isn't cool, but that's also it.
And then apparently Devin and Logan complained to production.
No, that's what I heard too. I heard that Devin and Logan like went behind her back to like cause a fuss. And then I'm just saying like, okay, like I like Devin. Logan, can't really decide yet, so whatever. But like Devin, I enjoy Devin on my screen. I don't think we'd get along in person. We've talked about this before, but he's fun to watch, whatever. But it's also like to know that he went and did that is like, because you haven't cussed out and gotten in Josh's face, but now because what you want to get rid of Ashley because she's a winner, or you want more attention for yourself.
It also explains why he was so pissed at Amanda the whole episode.
Because they're best friends. And it was obviously part of that whole situation.
Obviously, like I was just wondering why, like every 5 seconds, Devin, like completely deadly serious, is so mad at Amanda for no reason, seemingly. It's like, oh, I don't want her infiltrating the team. It's like, no, there was clearly something else. And that's why I hate when shows try to like make something work out of something they're trying to hide. It's like, you can't do that. It's going to end up coming out eventually.
Do a better job. It just wasn't well done.
No. And there's really not much else to say. If we find out anything else about this whole situation, I'm sure more will come out, but it's only been a day since the episode premiered.
And I also feel like Ashley and Devin and people that are being talked about as being part of this will speak out, but they are under contracts. And I think they'll probably have to wait, but they are the type of people that will want to clear
as soon as they can, they will say something about it.
So even if it's like by the time next season starts or by the time the reunion is about to air, someone will say something. Ashley's not going to be the type to if that's not fully what happened, or she doesn't feel like that's what she meant, she's not going to be the type of person that just lets people assume. She's going to say, no, this is what happened because of this, that, and the other. Like, that's her personality. She's not just going to be like, I don't know. She's going to say something. Mm-hmm. And then people are calling Devin like snaky or whatever. He's going to say something.
And apparently Devin was tweeting, I'm always and still am a big Amanda guy, extremely entertaining. And then...
So it was just, he was still mad from that moment when they were there in that moment. They're probably all cool now. Except for maybe, I don't know, Ashley might have a little bit of a rift if they were really the reason she got kind of kicked off.
I don't know. Again, we will find out more in time. Hopefully this is something they could try and cover at the reunion, like discreetly. Like,
get through.
That's the thing is like people on Twitter, and this isn't even like the sensitivity thing or like whatever. It's like, it's literally so important to what happened this week. The fact that you can't even like bleep out what was said or like show it and just like have a bunch of people like do confessionals saying it's never okay to do like something. Yeah. But like the fact that you're just not gonna show us what happened and just kick off like one of the front runners of the season and one of the only people that I was actually entertained by.
Probably most of America, but yeah.
So, and then no one even goes home this week except for Ashley.
On that note, if you want to know an update, if we get an update, and if you want to talk about All Stars and all these other fun things, like, comment, share, subscribe.